Welcome back to Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to try to challenge myself a little bit. Today I likely will fall. Today I will likely use the blocks in order to stabilize myself. Today I will engage my entire body and my brain using my breath. One of the great things for me about this yoga journey has been this infinite variety and this infinite challenge that I have. And when I get these poses right, especially some of the more complicated ones, I have a sort of sense of accomplishment. And when I have that sense of accomplishment, I start to feel good about myself. And when I feel good about myself, I give myself some love. And when I give myself some love, I feel better. Today is going to be a little bit more of a challenge for me. It may be less for you, it may be more for you. Remember, you can always modify these poses. Usually it involves dropping your knees. Maybe it becomes just coming up out of something deep. And I'll try to call those things out as I see them that give you a variation if that's what you want. Let's sit at the back of our mat or the back of our space, and let's get rid of all that stale air as we always do. So in through your nose, big breath in, fill up your lungs, fill up your entire cavity, your diaphragm, everywhere, and then push out through your mouth, and we'll replace that stale air with some good fresh stuff. So in through your nose and all the way out through your mouth. In through your nose and all the way out through your mouth. And in through your nose and all the way out through your mouth. Now for the rest of this, let's just keep breathing in and out through our nose. And take just a few moments just to feel how your body feels today. You find you can move around a little tiny bit, move your head around. You can immediately feel what's resisting yourself. And that's where you want to focus some of your relaxation and some of your movement. So just breathe in and out through your nose for a few moments. See how you feel. Okay, so let's go onto our toes and we're going to stretch out the back of our feet. Get yourself nice and even width apart. I find this is just one of those things people don't stretch out the back of their feet very much. We're sitting around in weird shoes and stuff. When you can sit on your back heels here and you can feel everything engaged, that's you know that you're in the right place. And then let's just put our hands down and we're going to stretch with the eyes of our arms facing forward. And we're just going to go back and forth and stretch out our wrists. So when we come back in, we can stretch the back of our feet. And we go over our wrists and sort of wake up our wrists and our feet. And just keep moving with your breath in and out through your nose. Maybe some circles. Maybe the other way. Okay, now put your fingers facing the outside of your mat and about 2 inches apart. Your eyes of your elbows still forward. Just do a few little circles here. You can feel how that's stretching another part of your wrist. Nothing too hard here. You don't want to hurt yourself. Nothing should be sharp pain. It should all just feel relaxing and good. And every time you go backwards, we're rotating in a different direction now. Every time you go backwards, you get a little bit of stretch on your feet, nice and slowly moving with your breath. Change direction again if you want. Make sure you're balanced out. Okay, now lastly, with our fingers pointing our knees, I sort of go side to side a little bit here, moving back. So my back of my feet are engaged, and I can feel a nice little stretch on my wrists as well. And maybe your wrists come up off the mat. Maybe you want to bend your arms a little bit, but you put a lot of leverage on here. So you're just trying to get a good wakening up of your wrists. Okay, since we're here, you can go off your. Actually, let's just shake out your wrist here for a second. Get everything realigned, still staying on the back of your toes. And now go into the backs of your feet, your toes almost together, your knees apart. And let's just go down into child's pose and stretch out our back a little bit. Your hips touching your heels as much as you can, your arms forward as much as you can. And each breath in makes a little space. You might just feel your back expand and your forehead goes to the mat. Now, while we're here, let's walk your hands over to just off the mat on the right side and put your left hand over top. And you still want to keep your hips down on your heels, and you get a side stretch. You maybe want to move your shoulders slowly with your breath. Just loosens anything that needs to loosen. Let's walk over to the left side of your mat. Your right hand goes on top. And just sit back down. And maybe again move your shoulder up and down. Moving with your breath. Nice long stretch on your side. Okay, let's go back to the center. And we're going to slowly push ourselves up, cross our feet behind us, and we're going to go back into a cross-legged position. And we're just going to stretch ourselves out a little bit with our, however your feet are is good. Your hands go and walk in front of you. And we'll just stretch our back down here onto our forearms. Each breath in through your nose creates a little space. Each breath out maybe allows you to go a little lower. Let's do one more breath. And just gently push yourself up. Cross your legs the other way. We'll do the same again, and you'll feel a little bit easier or harder, as it always is. So inhale and onto your forearms as much as you can. And last breath in. Now we're going to roll forward, stay on your forearms. We're going to go into a forearm plank. So get yourself nice and stable first. Your legs go up, your hips go up to the same height as your shoulders, your feet about shoulder distance apart, and separate your shoulder blades, and just pushing up out of the ground. If you want to make this different for you, you can drop your knees to the mat or the ground. You can go up on your arms and do a full plank. Let's do one more breath. And release that breath. And now we're going to put our toes together and do a plank, a side plank. If you can keep your arm, um, if you can keep your arm parallel to the mat, that's good. But you can also put it a little bit different. You can drop your leg here as well, and your other arm up to the sky if you can. One last breath. And back to forearm plank. Tidy yourself up, get some stability. And we'll do a forearm plank, side plank on the other side. Again, you can drop your knee, you can drop your hip, but it's nice if you can feel like you're getting a string that pulls your hip up. Last breath in, and then back to forearm plank. Now, while we're in forearm plank, we're going to, if you can, walk up to dolphin. Now you could also go into a puppy here. I'm going to try to stay in dolphin, which is your legs straight. It's sort of like downward dog, and you're pushing to make yourself as straight as you can. And the last breath in. And from here, I'm going to flip up to normal plank. Find a little stability. And last breath in, we're going to go to an upward dog. I stay on the top of my toes. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. And then back into downward dog. And suddenly downward dog feels like a relaxing state. You might want to pedal at your feet. You're trying to get a nice straight line from your wrists up to your hips. Everything gets opened up. Now your left leg to the air, just for a moment, up on your right foot, and you're going to stick your left leg between your hands, or as close as you can, and we're going to go into a crescent lunge. So 90 degrees on your front leg if you can. Dip your back leg down as you can, as far as you can. Arms above your head engaged, like you're holding a beach ball. You can focus on a wall. And last breath in, your right hand forward, your left arm back to twist. You're twisting with your torso. You're dipping your knee as much as you can. Let's go back that way. And we're going to go move forward to triangle. So our back is sort of on a 45. Your front is straight. You don't want to lock your knee, but your front leg is straight. And we're going to put our left leg down, left hand down. You could use a block right here, your leg, and your right leg to the front, to the sky rather. Try to keep your hips. Taking some focus. Now we're going to push forward, track above our knee. Our left hand, mine's going to use that block because it helps stabilize me. And we're going to go up to half moon, which is our hips stacked on top of each other and our leg out as straight as it can. I can see why I need the block here. Last breath in. That right leg comes to meet your left. And up into chair pose. Try to go down as deep as you can. And your arms up straight and your back straight. You can come up out of the chair a little bit. You just need quite a little bit of a break, but try to keep as deep sunken as you can. Just one more breath here. And then forward fold, some relief. Halfway lift. And forward fold. And then tuck down and roll all the way up. And into a prayer position. We're going to go back and take in 2 seconds. This is relatively a lot for me. And in this prayer position, we're nice and balanced. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Calm everything down. Okay, so hands above our head. And then forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant our hands down. Our right leg goes back to a low lunge. We're just going to stretch out our hip flexor here, arms above us. And maybe this is good enough to sit here for a few moments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward with my left arm, grab my foot, and just get a little bit more of a quad stretch and push up out of that. And as I lean forward, I'll stretch the front of my hip flexor and my quads getting stretched. Last breath in, and don't let your foot go too hard. You don't want to slap it. So just in control. Your foot goes back, and your hands can plant behind, and back to plank for some relaxation. Now inhale, drop your hips to upward dog. And then back to downward dog. Again, find that balance. Your right leg goes up to the air, up on your left foot, and your right leg between your hands, and you're rising up to crescent lunge on the other side. 90 degrees right here if you can. Dropping your knee as much as you can, your arms over your head engaged, your tailbone tucked in underneath. Inhale, and your left arm goes forward, your right arm goes back, twisting with your torso. Up they go again. We're bringing ourselves up to triangle. Your back is sort of 45. Your front is straight but not locked. And then down. Now again, I use my block and track forward into half moon. This one will fall on. My right leg is not as strong. But staying focused, breathing through our nose, We're going to go forward, plant our right arm. Put my, I don't know if I can do that. Yeah. Okay, my left foot is going to meet my right for tabletop. My right leg is much weaker than the left. Into a chair pose. Keep your hands straight up. And let's go on our toes for some nice balance. Heels come up. And then forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And then crouching down. All the way up over our head. And back to this prayer position. And I'm just going to take a second again. Just gain control of your breath. Slow it all down. Okay, so inhale our hands to above our head. Hips out. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands go down. And our left leg goes back. And we're going to stretch. We're going to do a low lunge. Stretch out our other hip now. Hands above the sky. Everything's engaged. Dig into that. And I'm going to reach behind. Grab my foot. A little tension on my foot to stretch out my shoulder. And then I'm going to lean forward and get some stretch on my left hip flexor and my left quad. Keep breathing through your nose. Keep yourself calm. Last breath in. And let go of your foot in a controlled way. Hands planted. Back to that relaxing plank. And again, we're going to drop our hips for upward dog. Amazing how this feels relaxing now. And sit, everything is still engaged. Inhale, and back to downward dog. And we're going to walk forward to the squat, which, if you know me, counts as relaxation now. As straight as your back as you can. Wasn't always relaxing though. And having my hips being able to open has made a great difference for me. And again, this is a nice balanced pose. A little tension, pushing at your knees with your triceps, slowing everything down. Last breath in. Back to reverse tabletop. Another fave for me. Everything pointed in the same direction. Push right out if you can. And inhale. And exhale, put your hips down by your heels. Inhale, get some sun on your chest. Exhale, sink as far as you can. Feel that stretch on your shoulders. Don't push it though. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And inhale, stretch forward. Reach as far as you can to that wall. Just stretch everything out. And back to happy baby. Opening up everything. Again, do that figure four stretch. Right leg over your left. Reach through the corner. Grab onto your shin. Grab onto your thigh. Grab onto your other one. Just keep your feet engaged. And lean a little bit to your left. And you'll feel that stretch on the outside of your hip. And tug in nice and gently, as long as it feels good. Last breath in. We're going to keep our legs crossed for this twisted root. You can do it. Just lean off to the side if you want, or however you like doing this stretch. I like to twist my legs right around. Let your right arm fall open. Relax into the back, to the mat, or the ground. We're almost done. You close your eyes if you want. Feel how your body's feeling. Last breath in. And bring your knees back up. Squeeze them into your chest just to line everything up. And put your left leg over your right. Reach through that hole. Lean a little bit on your right and pull that leg while it's engaged to your chest. And feel that stretch on the outside of your left hip. And all these things don't strain your neck. Your neck's not doing any heavy lifting, but sometimes you want to try to, flex it all there. Last breath in. And cross your legs right over. Let's do a twisted root on the other side. Your left arm hangs open. Relax into that. And last breath in. And bring your knees back up into your chest. Two things left. Our bridge pose, so our feet goes down. Your hands can touch your heels, and you push up out of your heels. And I'm going to interlace my hands underneath. I'm not going to flex I'm going to keep some space between my chin and my chest. And I'm going to push up. It's good for your pelvic floor. Everything's engaged. Just keep breathing into your nose. The last breath in. Go on your toes as high as they can. Put your hands above your head. And just come down one vertebrae at a time. Super, super slow. Hug your knees to your chest. And then your legs fall out to corpse's pose. Your legs fall open, your shoulders tucked underneath your back, and your hands, palms facing the sky. And I hope, however you did this, you made it a little challenging for yourself. And I hope you feel good about yourself. And you will feel better. See you in the next video. Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.